43.63 seconds. Ran without one of their fastest athletes. After a false recall disrupted the field's preparation. On a stage where junior relay teams routinely collapse under pressure. That is what Jamaica's under-20 women posted in the 4x100 relay final at the 2024 CARIFTA Games in Grenada. And the most striking part is not the time. It is how controlled it looked. The CARIFTA Games is the Caribbean's premier junior athletics championship, and the 4x100 relay final is its most watched sprint event. 8 teams, 4 legs each. 3 exchanges that can erase or create margins no individual can overcome. This year's final featured Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, Bahamas, and Grenada on home soil. A crowd that genuinely believed the host nation had a chance at a medal. Jamaica entered as favorites. They almost always do. But relay favorites at youth level fall regularly. A mistimed exchange, a nervy anchor, a first-leg runner who tightens up after a disrupted start. The green card issued before the final gun added exactly that kind of disruption. Athletes reset, adrenaline recycled. The nervous system had to reload for explosive output a second time. What happened next was not a dramatic comeback or an upset. It was something rarer at this level. A technical performance under pressure that looked like a training run. 3 exchanges, each one aggressive, each one fast. The kind of relay that coaches spend years trying to build and almost never see at under 20 level. Trinidad finished in 44.43 seconds. Bahamas took bronze at 45.40. The margins tell part of the story. The velocity data inside each exchange zone tells the rest. Watch closely from the gun. Pay particular attention to the incoming runner in each exchange, not the outgoing one. That is where this race was decided.
42.58, the CARIFTA record set in 2022 by Jamaica. The Bahamian team stepping out. Oh yeah. They'll want the changes to be as slick as that pose. Under 20 girls 4x100 final.
So we actually lost 3 teams from the semi-finals. Guyana is not there, unfortunately. No Tiana Springer, no Narissa McPherson. They're going to be running the 4x4 mixed, hopefully a little bit later. We've got Antigua and Barbuda withdrawing as well, and Barbados.
So Bahamas, Trinidad and Tobago, Jamaica, British Virgin Islands, Grenada, Guadeloupe, and Martinique. The teams set to take part here. British Virgin Islands. Oh wow, they would love to have a Deja Hodge now. That's Amia Todman for the BVI. Here's the lineup from the inside. Grenada, Martinique, British Virgin Islands, Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, Guadeloupe, and Bahamas. 7 teams going in this final.
And Todman on that 3rd leg with Soleil Frederick.
Trinidad and Tobago team. They have the Frederick sisters, one would suppose. They also have Symphony Patrick to choose from.
Khadija Pickering, I think, maybe leading off for them.
Jamaica being led off by Habiba Harris, the 12.95 sprint hurdler, takes the opening leg for the Jamaicans. They are expected to have a fine, fine team. Tiana Lee Terrelong, Sabrina Dockery, Shania Douglas possibly in their lineup as well. Guadeloupe. Guadeloupe will be in lane number 6. They have Alia Vanukia on the opening leg. Grenada with Rihanna Frederick leading off for them.
Stand. On your marks.
Final of the under-20 girls 4x100.
Set.
Well, that went all wrong. Some athletes were in the set positions, getting back into their marks. Others were stuck on their mark. Pretty sure we're going to see a green card here.
Should do, I think.
It's the green card.
And yes, we do in fact get a green card. Starters acknowledge that there may have been an issue with the starts. From their end, Symphony Patrick, you see on your screen there, will be leading off for Trinidad and Tobago. The Frederick twins will go second and third.
Set.
Cleanly away this time for the 4x100 final for under 20 girls. Trinidad and Tobago up well with Symphony Patrick. Abiba Harris runs a good first leg for the Jamaicans as well. The Jamaicans change safe and first. Tiana Lee Terrelong, the 100 silver medalist, goes flying by Frederick. Jamaica ahead of Trinidad and Tobago. Here's the change for the Jamaicans. Soleil Frederick on the third leg for Trinidad and Tobago, but it's Jamaica with the advantage. This is where the battle is expected to be. Here's the final change. Jamaica ahead of TNT. Down the home stretch they come. Trinidad and Tobago trying to close, but the Jamaicans pull away through Shania Douglas. 43-61. Another terrific performance by the black, green and gold. That's 3 in a row in the relays. They are on course for another sweep at the CARIFTA Games. They swept the 1500s yesterday, and they are very much on course in the 4x100s. Pickering taking home Trinidad and Tobago to a well-deserved silver medal.
Trinidad and Tobago, and of course the ladies from the Bahamas in second and third. Trinidad and Tobago 44.43 seconds. Sanya Frederick not looking in the championship form that she displayed last year, certainly.
Thought it was Pickering on the ankle leg for TNT. It wasn't actually, as the Bahamians come through for bronze at 45.40. The Jamaicans celebrate gold. And they didn't have Sabrina Dockery, who won the 100 meters last night, defeating Tiana Lee Terrelong.
still 200 to come tomorrow, so the bigger teams will be a little bit more mindful of using the depth of their relay squads. But a dominant performance by the Jamaican quartet, almost from the gun. Made the first pass first. Frederick, second best to tear along. And then just opening that lead from that point forward with the Jamaicans.
Never in doubt this one for Jamaica. Shania Dungler so good at 100, 200 and 400, tearing away on the anchor leg to bring the Jamaicans home. And once again, it's Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, Bahamas. They've been rotating Trinidad and Tobago and Bahamas for second and third, but the Jamaicans remain in the gold medal positions throughout these relays. 43-63 for Jamaica, 44-43 for Trinidad and Tobago, 45-40 for the Bahamas.
Got them holding off Grenada for that fourth spot.
Here's Gerard.
43.63 seconds. That's what Jamaica's under-20 women posted in the 4x100 relay final at the 2024 CARIFTA Games in Grenada. Not a world record, not even a Jamaican record. But it tells you something more useful than a record would. It tells you that a team missing one of its top individual sprinters, running under pressure, on a stage where nerves regularly destroy baton exchanges, produced a championship-level performance that looked almost routine. The question this breakdown answers is simple. How do you make a relay look easy when nothing about relay running actually is? The 4x100 relay is the most technically unforgiving event in sprint athletics. 4 athletes, 3 exchanges. Each exchange window is exactly 20 meters long. Miss it by a fraction, a hesitation, a misread, a hand that opens too early, and you lose more time in that baton zone than any individual could ever make back down the straight. Most relay failures happen not because the runners are slow. They happen because the system breaks down under pressure. What you are about to see is what it looks like when the system holds. The race itself nearly started twice. A false recall forced officials to issue a green card before the field was properly settled. Several athletes were caught in awkward positions mid-set, and the restart added tension that disrupted rhythm for most squads. That kind of disruption matters physiologically. Adrenaline spikes, then partially dissipates, and the nervous system has to reprime for explosive output. For a team with fragile cohesion, that sequence can destroy race execution before the gun even fires cleanly. Jamaica's first leg runner showed none of that disruption. Reaction time off the blocks was approximately 0.142 seconds. Clean, legal, controlled. The drive phase ran to around 30 meters before she transitioned into full upright mechanics. And by the 60-meter mark, she was already carrying a stride frequency that put her clear of the field. Stride length in the final 30 meters of the first leg was close to 2.3 meters, with a cadence around 4.7 strides per second. Those numbers aren't exceptional for elite senior sprinting. For under-20 athletes in a championship environment, they represent disciplined, mature execution. Here's the part that doesn't make sense on the surface. Jamaica was missing a key individual sprinter from this squad. A team running without one of its fastest athletes should, by simple logic, run slower. Instead, the relay chemistry held, and the time of 43.63 seconds remained firmly in championship range. That tells you something specific about how Jamaica structures relay training at junior level. The baton doesn't belong to a single carrier. The system is built so that any configuration of the squad can execute the exchange correctly. That's a coaching philosophy, not an accident. The first exchange set the tone for everything that followed. The incoming runner hit the exchange zone at close to 9.6 meters per second. The outgoing second leg runner had already initiated her acceleration at approximately 9 meters before the zone boundary, meaning the two athletes were velocity matching across roughly 13 meters of the 20-meter window. The baton passed with the incoming hand still high, and the receiving hand at hip level, palm open, fingers pointing backward. The standard downsweep technique. Clean. No stutter. No panic reach. The second leg runner exited the zone at close to 9.4 meters per second, already accelerating. What's most surprising about this exchange is not that it was clean, it's that it was aggressive. Most junior teams execute safe exchanges. They wait, they slow slightly, they ensure contact before accelerating. Jamaica accepted risk in exchange for velocity preservation. The incoming runner didn't decelerate significantly before the pass. That decision, multiplied across 3 exchanges, is worth an estimated 0.3 to 0.5 seconds over a cautious relay strategy. Over a 43-second race, that's the difference between gold and silver. The second leg runner through the back straight extended the lead to what looked like approximately 1.8 meters over Trinidad and Tobago at the 200-meter mark. Trinidad ran with composure, and their own exchanges were solid. Their eventual time of 44.43 seconds confirms genuine speed across all 4 legs. The gap Jamaica created wasn't a product of talent mismatch. It was a product of accumulated technical decisions. 0.15 seconds here from a clean first exchange, another 0.12 seconds there from velocity-matched incoming speed. So if Trinidad had individually faster athletes on any given leg, why did the margin keep growing? The answer lies in phase transition efficiency. Every time Jamaica completed an exchange, the outgoing runner entered her running phase with near maximum velocity already loaded. Every time that happens, the following runner requires fewer strides to reach top speed, which means less time spent in the inefficient acceleration corridor between 0 and 8 meters per second. Trinidad's runners were fast, but they were rebuilding velocity after each exchange, not inheriting it. Here's what this tells us about relay running more broadly. The relay is not 4 individual 100-meter races connected by a baton. It's a velocity transfer problem. The team that loses the least speed in each exchange zone wins, assuming relatively equal raw talent. Jamaica's third leg exchange was the finest of the 3. The incoming runner hit the zone boundary at an estimated 9.5 meters per second, and the outgoing anchor received the baton at approximately 9.3 meters per second, a velocity loss of only 0.2 meters per second across the entire exchange. That's elite-level efficiency. The anchor leg down the home straight confirmed what the splits had already written. Jamaica entered the final straight with a lead of close to 3 meters. The anchor didn't press, didn't tighten, didn't panic. She ran through the line with controlled mechanics, posting a leg split estimated around 10.9 seconds for the final 100-meter segment. Trinidad's anchor closed the gap marginally in the final 30 meters, but 44.43 was the result. A genuine performance, just not enough. What would you have done differently, coaching Trinidad, heading into that final? The velocity matching problem on the first exchange is correctable. Running conservatively in the zone is a coaching choice, not a talent ceiling. That one change, accepting greater baton-pass velocity, could realistically take 0.2 to 0.3 seconds off their relay time without adding a single faster athlete to the squad. Bahamas crossed in 45.40 seconds for bronze, holding off Grenada on home soil in a finish that had its own tension. But the technical story of this race belonged to Jamaica's middle 2 exchanges. The deciding factor wasn't Jamaica's top-end speed advantage. It was their exchange zone entry velocity. Specifically, the first to third exchange consistently saw incoming runners arrive above 9.4 meters per second, transferring momentum rather than surrendering it. That single measurable difference accounts for the bulk of the 0.8-second margin over Trinidad. The takeaway for anyone watching relay racing going forward: watch the incoming runner, not the outgoing one. The outgoing runner's acceleration gets all the attention. The incoming runner's deceleration curve is where races are won and lost. If the incoming athlete is still at near-peak velocity when the baton changes hands, you're watching a system that trusts itself. If the incoming runner is visibly slowing before contact, you're watching a team trading time for safety. The 2024 CARIFTA Relay Final wasn't a shocking result. It was an expected one, executed with uncommon technical precision. Jamaica's under-20 women posted 43.63 seconds on a championship stage, missing a key individual after a disrupted start, and made it look measured. That's the standard they set at youth level year after year. The relay is a system, and theirs works. If you want to understand why Caribbean sprinting stays the benchmark at every level from under 18 to the Olympic final, relay mechanics are where to start. Watch that exchange zone in the next race you see. You'll never look at a baton pass the same way again. If this breakdown gave you something new to watch for, subscribe to Sprint Beyond for analysis like this every week. Drop a question in the comments. Which exchange do you think is the hardest to execute cleanly under pressure? The first, the second, or the third?